Okay, let's unpack this. We've got some really fascinating sources here detailing a pretty critical shift in European politics.
Hmm.
The Russian aggression against Ukraine, well, it really sent shockwaves, didn't it?
Absolutely seismic.
And our deep dive today is focusing squarely on Germany's response, specifically under Chancellor Friedrich Merz, and how dramatically it seems to have evolved.
Right.
Our mission really is to dig into the details of this new era maybe of determination in German foreign policy using the insights you've shared.
And what's truly insightful, I think, is seeing how it's not just, a reaction. It feels like a deeper recalibration of Germany's whole post-war identity.
Ah, okay.
The initial phase, especially under the previous government, Scholz's government, well, Germany reacted with a certain amount of restraint.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Merz coming in, it represents a much clearer principled stance. It's fundamentally repositioning Germany, moving it from being seen mainly as an economic power to, well, a more active security guarantor.
A security guarantor, that's a big shift.
Aimed squarely at defending Ukraine's territorial integrity and, strengthening the whole European peace order.
That's a powerful way to frame it. Now, Merz was quite vocal, even before becoming chancellor, about needing decisive military support for Ukraine. How did that conviction translate into actual policy once he was in office?
Well, he was critical, as your sources point out, of what he called the initial hesitations in sending heavy weapons under the previous administration.
Right, the delays.
Exactly. So once he became chancellor, his policy just massively expanded the delivery of key systems. We're talking Leopard 2 tanks.
The tanks, yeah.
Advanced PZH-2000 artillery, sophisticated IRIS-T air defense systems. I mean, the pivot was so significant it really turned Germany into one of the largest military supporters of Kyiv.
Wow.
A role, frankly, many thought Germany had kind of sworn off permanently.
So it's clearly more than just, feeling a moral obligation here. There's got to be a strong strategic reason behind it.
Precisely.
What specific, maybe long-term European security interests is he looking at?
It reflects a deep strategic insight, as the sources say, that Europe's stability, its prosperity even, is directly linked to the resilience of Ukraine.
Okay.
For Merz, I think the view is you just can't have a secure Europe with an expansionist Russia operating unchecked.
Right, makes sense.
So this isn't just altruism. It's recognizing that Germany's own security, its economic well-being, depends on a stable eastern flank and, frankly, a strong deterrent.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting for me. This strategic view must push Germany outwards, right, towards its big alliances. Merz also really reemphasized the transatlantic alliance and NATO. What does that actually mean for Germany's role day to day on the world stage? How did he champion that?
Well, he pushed hard for increased cooperation with the U.S. and other NATO allies. The goal was presenting a unified front against the Russian aggression.
The united front, okay.
And Germany deepened its commitment within the alliance. Crucially, Germany reaffirmed and accelerated its pledge to spend that 2% of its gross domestic product for defense.
Ah, the 2% target. That's always been a sticking point.
Exactly. It's been a NATO goal for ages, often unmet by Germany. So actually hitting it, well, that unlocks significant new capabilities. It helps with burden sharing. It's a very clear signal.
A signal that Germany's moving away from that post-war culture of restraint.
That's a good way to put it. Moving away from that caution regarding military matters, yeah.
So it sounds like Germany is really stepping up, taking on a much bigger, maybe historically unprecedented responsibility. Is that sustainable, though, this active and leading role for a country that's traditionally been so cautious?
Well, if we connect it to the bigger picture, it fits perfectly with his conviction that Germany simply must shoulder greater responsibility for the collective security of Europe.
Right.
This isn't just about spending more money or sending more kit. It's a profound departure, really, from the philosophy that guided German foreign policy for decades. A policy often seen as, well, too hesitant.
Too hesitant.
Yeah. Merz is essentially asking Germany to fundamentally rethink its global security role, explicitly linking democratic values and the rule of law to hard power.
But, I mean, no policy this big, this transformative, comes without challenges, right?
Never.
The stronger military stance, the alliance commitment, it must create pressures. What kind of complexities is Merz dealing with, both at home and, internationally?
Oh, it raises several important questions. Domestically, you definitely have ongoing debates over the costs of military aid.
The money.
Not just the financial burden, but also the perception, maybe, that it's draining resources from public services. especially with inflation and energy worries still around.
You see that in the polls.
You do see it reflected in public opinion, and certainly criticism from some political fringes. Parts of the AfD, for instance, pushing for a more isolationist, maybe even pro-Russian stance.
And internationally?
Internationally, it's about managing the concerns of some European partners who just prefer different approaches. It's a complex diplomatic task.
Like who?
Well, countries like Hungary, for example, have often expressed reservations about the extent of EU sanctions or military aid. They might prefer a more accommodating approach towards Moscow.
So it sounds like a constant, delicate balancing act, then, between that unwavering support for Ukraine and avoiding further escalation.
Absolutely. It's a tightrope walk.
Can you give us an example of that, where he's had to walk that line?
Sure. The debate over providing those long-range Taurus cruise missiles is a prime example.
Right. Ukraine wants those badly.
Urgently requests them. But Merz has had to weigh the clear strategic benefit against, well, the domestic political risks and also international worries about potentially drawing Germany deeper into a direct confrontation.
I see.
It's this constant negotiation, between giving unconditional support for Ukraine and the absolute necessity to avoid further escalation. Every single decision gets scrutinized from all sides.
Wow. What a deep dive this has been into this really profound shift in German foreign policy. Merz's leadership, it really has marked a significant turn. It feels like it's recalibrating not just policy, but maybe Germany's whole identity on the world stage.
It undeniably has.
Yeah.
His policy has strengthened support for Kyiv across the board, military, economic, diplomatic, while really embedding Germany firmly back into that Western alliance structure.
Oh.
It signals Germany's readiness, perhaps its newfound readiness, to take an active, even leading role in defending European values and stability. It's quite a departure from decades of, let's call it, strategic ambiguity.
So here's a final provocative thought for you, our listener, to consider. Given Germany's accelerated commitment, this renewed active leadership role, how might this permanently reshape the whole landscape of European defense and security, not just for now during this conflict, but maybe for decades to come?